one of you want to raise questions? Come on. Or probably from our from the lecturers, yeah, the lecturers of the English department. Come on.
If they don't have any questions by now, that's fine.
I
don't know
think
how
you can continue.
I don't know how we're doing.
The next topic, I think. Juan.
Yes, that's what I thought, Mr. Rizal. So if they have any questions, if they pop up later, they can write them down and they can either email them to me or go ahead and send them to you. I'll share them with me. Of course, after we have finished with this questions, oh, there's a hand raised, Mr. Rizal.
Yeah.
Shall we answer that question?
Victoria, or who?
From me, sir.
Oh yeah, come on.
I'm from Malang.
Malang, okay, come on, you can ask question.
So, comparing to any other platform, how would you recommend Animoto to them? Thank you very much.
That's a very good question, and I appreciate you asked. Compared to other platforms and video platforms, I would say that Animoto is at a very low stake, meaning that it doesn't require much. It doesn't demand too much from the student, and they can start low. So they start by creating something very simple, like the sky video I just showed you. By seeing that video, you notice that there were just simple words. Do you see the K in sky? Oh, something like that. It could be a simple phrase, 2 or 3 phrases, 2 or 3 pictures, something very simple, something very low stake, so that it doesn't put too much pressure on students from the very beginning. Now, the other platforms are a little bit more intimidating because now they offer you more time, they offer you more resources in terms of more production demanding. They demand more production from you, and I'm talking about probably using TikTok or probably using YouTube, where you would have to come up with a bigger content, a more demanding content for your viewers. So again, to make the story short, I think that Animoto is at a low stake end. The video production is very simple, very easy to use, and it allows students to get engaged without having that pressure on them, but definitely on the video itself.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Well, that said, then after comments and questions have been asked, the next step would be, assignment. Okay, so in this case, I'm asking you all to create an Animoto account. You can visit animoto.com and create a video by adding the photos, the music, and the text directly from Animoto. And then after you complete all those steps, finalize your video, and then you would share that link to the Google form that I have shared with Professor Rizal. So Professor Rizal, if you would be so kind to share that link on the chat so everybody can click on it, and later, it doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be now, but later, at least they will have access to that link. They can copy it and paste it, or so that later on they can create. By the way, you can share this PowerPoint presentation with them so they can go through the different steps in order to create their own videos. Okay. So that said, we move on to the next application, which is Twitter. And I forgot to say this earlier, but Selamat Datang. Did I say it right? I hope.
That's right.
All right, so let's move on. And again, our motto is an educator sees a teaching opportunity in everything. Again, we saw Animoto. Well, we saw a teaching opportunity. Now we see Twitter. And from Twitter, we can also see some opportunity for teaching. Again, Twitter was also established in 2006. It's a very popular social network. You can get a free account where you can tweet and retweet. You can share text, videos, pictures, GIFs. There is a text limit, which was actually expanded back in 2017 to 240 characters. It was half of that before 2017, but they decided to do this to give users the opportunity to use more text and express themselves more openly. They use hashtags represented by the pound sound, by the pound symbol. As you can see, if we create a hashtag for this class, for this workshop, we would call it hashtag UIMELT, English language teaching. And you can find people by using the username and using the @ symbol. In this case, you can find me by looking at Juan Soto. What are the pedagogical uses that we can take out of Twitter? Well, again, it improves digital skills. You can quickly assess knowledge because it allows you to poll your students. So there is a poll feature within within Twitter that allows you to quickly take an assessment of your students, whether it is their knowledge or you want them to quickly respond to a poll, whether saying yes or no or true or false. So you can quiz them very quickly by using a Twitter poll. They can enrich their listening and speaking skills because they can speak, they can record audio or videos and tweet them out. They can also develop their reading and writing skills since they can read other people's tweets and they can also write their own. It stimulates the critical thinking skills again because you have to think critically which words you're going to use, how many characters you still have available, and so on and so forth. And you can also stimulate. Can you all see me and hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, we can see.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. For a moment, it's like my screen froze, and I thought I was not with you anymore. All right. So that said, that is Twitter. And again, you can sign up for a free account and then start tweeting for free. You can sign in using different accounts, whether you can use Google, you can sign in using Facebook, and so on. You can sign in using your email account or your user name. In this case, I'm giving my name as an example, at Juan Soto, and then type in your password. Okay. Twitter uses hashtags and usernames. And as you can see on this one, you can also follow someone. Somebody can follow you. Again, look at the @ symbol to refer to the username. There's another username right here, and here's the hashtag. So everybody who is related to this hashtag will be able to read what this is promoting. Again, if you want to follow this, you would just click on follow. This blue check mark indicates that this has this is an account that has been verified, so it's not something fake. You can decide who can reply, and in this case, you would have this option, and you can allow everybody to reply to your post, but you can also select the people that will reply, like only those that you follow. And then that is one way. The other way is where we can test our students with a quick quiz using the poll feature. And here you can see, I'm asking, for instance, which tool will you more likely use in class? And then I have my first choice, Animoto, second choice is Twitter, and the third one is TikTok. So by doing this, I am creating a survey, I'm creating a poll where I can have my students on a particular hashtag to answer this question, so nobody else will come in. We can decide to make this kind of private or public by just making the selection on who can reply to this. I think that was a very short presentation. Again, I say terima kasih. Twitter, I think I should have asked at the very beginning how many of you have a Twitter account, because it seems to be so intuitive, so easy to use, so so simple that I said, well, let's not spend too much time on this. Let's give a chance to ask questions or create some comments.
Okay, any questions? You can raise your hand or write your questions in the chat box, or you can ask question directly here. Come on. Any questions? You can.
If they still have any pending questions from Animoto and they wrote it down, they can ask it now too.
Come on, the questions from students, please. I think you just feel free to raise questions to Mr. Juan. Yeah. Come on.
Don't be afraid. I won't bite.
Sorry, not not question. But
go ahead.
I'm curious, yeah, with the video you presented to Annie's graduation. Can you show the video to us?
Do you want me to share it again? I can do that.
Yeah, can you show the video you presented to Annie's graduation?
Okay, sure, no problem. Just give me a second. Okay, here it goes.
Thank you.
How was that? Oh, you're welcome. Sama-sama.
Yeah, I just imagine that you're going to have some photos of Annie, so that's make me curious. but I couldn't find it. But it's okay. That's good video.
Okay. So I just used remember I was just using the features that we had on Animoto as opposed to using all pictures. Now I have another video right here. This one was created back in 2009. That was my very first one. And I went to a TESOL conference that year. I don't know if you guys would like to watch it. It's a very short one. I think it's 23 seconds. Would you want me to play it?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so here it goes.
Thank
All
you.
right. You're very welcome, Dr. Taria. Yes, as you can see, again, we are using a very basic, very low-stake applications such as Twitter and also Animoto to create these videos and allowing students to own their own learning, to actually build up their own skills, whether they are digital skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But again, I insist they are done at a lower stake, a lower level.
Juan, there's a question from Rima. Yeah.
Is it in the chat or?
Yeah. The question is about Twitter application. Can the Twitter application be used in an online learning system? Yeah. I mean, such as Moodle, Google Class, or
Absolutely. I believe so. I believe they can. Twitter can be integrated easily because it allows you to use links which can be added to those platforms you just mentioned and any other, and students can use the account, and they can also set it up in such a way that is private, and by using a particular hashtag they will also follow and easily find content related to that particular theme that they're discussing. When I went to that conference back in 2009 in Denver, Colorado, I remember we decided to use a hashtag for our linguistics department at Ohio University, which was called #linguistics OU, Ohio University. And then that way, whatever link, whatever information we learned from the different presentations that took place, we had all this collection, all this information gathered in one place. By using the hashtag, it was a lot easy, very easy to find them. I think somebody's sharing their screen. Professor Rizal. Okay. So yes, going back to that question, I think Twitter can easily be integrated to any platform.
there is a question again from what is it? Azahra. Yeah. Oh, not Azahra. It's from Siti Aziza. Is Animoto videos? Oh, is, yeah, should be. Can Animoto videos be shared in many kinds of social media? It looks
Absolutely.
like Animoto is only suitable for social media.
Absolutely. It can be shared to different social media. And as you may remember, when we click the share button, it allows you to share that particular video you created with a lot of social media. As a matter of fact, let me just share my screen to show you the different. Can you all see this? So if I decide to share this, if I click the share button, it allows me to share this with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter link, embed, but there's more. If I click here, I can view some more. So Pinterest, here's WordPress, Tumblr, Blogger, Vimeo, etc. So it's not only one single platform or social media. You can share, you can embed. If you have your own website, you can embed the video right there. Does that answer the question?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Very, very good one.
Yeah.
You are still muted, Pak David.
There is a question from Aida. I want to ask about the Twitter level of security for learning. How safe is Twitter used for learning? Thank you.
Well, nowadays, nothing is so safe as to say 100%. As you can see, social networks get hacked. So I would say that acting with caution and setting up the parameters to private kind of diminishes or minimizes the chances of getting unwanted people coming to our educational environment. So again, that's a very good question, and security is one of the concerns of social media nowadays. But again, if we are alert and we use the precaution to set our parameters, our settings to private, chances are that we can use any of these to perfectly work in the learning and educational environment.
Okay, and then from Kutsi, I want to ask about what influence can Twitter have on teaching and learning? How can Twitter enhance students' learning? Okay, from Kutsi.
That's a very good question. And I think that every time we have a new opportunity to get students engaged, that enhances learning. I remember this anecdote from one of my Spanish teachers back in the Dominican Republic, where I come from. And he said that every time he read the newspaper, he had in the back of his head and in his mind, he was always thinking how this article or whatever he saw in the newspaper would enhance my students' ability to think, ability to think differently, to improve their language learning skills, and so on and so forth. So every time we are in front of a new medium, a new media, a new app, we can always look at the positive way and try to get the best out of it. I mean, as an educator, remember, we see an opportunity in everything, a teaching opportunity in everything. So my professor back in those days used the newspaper, and through the newspaper, he was able to bring change and enhance our learning. But nowadays, we can use this through the apps.
Okay, I think there is no. Oh, salsa. Yeah. The next question from. Oh, okay. Let me check. Next question from Irfan. Yeah. Irfan. Oh, sorry. From Faris. Yeah. Can Twitter be the right learning medium, yeah, for students? There are a lot of negative things on Twitter. When we giving lessons to students, students will actually open up negative things. Yeah, meaning that what about the side, the minus of Twitter? Yeah, for teaching, some are not good enough for students. Yeah, to consume. What do you think, Juan Soto?
Thank you for the question. You are right. Especially in the United States, we could see how the former President Donald Trump's Twitter account was banned and was for life. He cannot use Twitter anymore because of the things he said, the lies he spread, and so on and so forth. And the same thing happens with any discovery that takes place. Just to give you an example, back in those days when dynamite was discovered, dynamite users decided that the best way to get through a mountain or a piece of mountain instead of using their rudimentary tools to open roads to communicate one community with the other was to use the dynamite to blow up certain part of the mountain and then make tunnels and build railroads and so on and so forth. However, other people see dynamite as a way to destroy other people's lives, right? So there's always two points of view on discoveries, on tools, on inventions. So Twitter has its negative, but also has its positive. The way I've seen it in class, when students have used it, they have used it in a positive way, regardless of the negative side that other people have used it, and we continue to use Twitter for such purposes.
Thank you. And then the next question from Salsa, I think this is similar to the previous questions. And then from Khairul Hamdani, what is your reasons to recommend us to choose Animoto? Oh yeah, there are a lot of applications actually related to video creation. Yeah, Mr. Juan, come on.
So what is my recommendation?
What is your recommendation? Why do you recommend Animoto?
Animoto.
Yeah, not there are not others. Yeah, there are many applications. This is from Khairul Hamdani.
Yes, thank you so much for clarifying the question. Yes, Animoto, one more time, I can say that is a very low stake application where students are not intimidated by creating a very, very large content, but instead they can start low. It's like when you're starting to walk, right? You wouldn't appreciate if your dad or your mom decided to take you to the field and have you run when you're just learning how to walk. So you want to do the baby steps first until you can walk properly, and then you can walk faster, and then you can start running on your own. And then that's how I see Animoto. It's a way to get it to the students so they don't feel intimidated by using technology, number one, and number two, to get them started without having that pressure on their shoulders or that stress of having to produce something with a large content. As we will see later, TikTok then is a different story where you can actually move up and move on and create more content and do more demanding tasks, where you have more time even to produce a video that would demand more from the student. So again, Animoto is a low-stake tool that I would continue to recommend because it doesn't have you hit the ground running, if you know what I mean. It starts from a very low perspective, very low point of view, and then once you get your hands wet, you can move on and use other tools. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yeah, Khairul, does it answer the question? Khairul Hamdani?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Juan, you can continue with the next presentation on TikTok. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
TikTok. Oh, but let me see if students know what's coming up next. After we have finished with the comments and questions, what do you think is coming next? Anyone, somebody, tell me, what do you think is coming next? What is the next slide? Let me test your memory. So after we finish Animoto with the questions and comments, there was something that came up on the next slide. What do you think is coming up on the next slide?
Assignment.
Professor Rizal just said it. Yes, the assignment is coming up, and this assignment, he's thinking with the teacher's mind, with the teacher mind. So yes, the assignment is this. You will create a Twitter account if you don't have one. If you already have one, you don't have to. You would follow one of your colleagues or two or three or how many you prefer. And then you're going to use the hashtag UINELT so that whatever you tweet is within this community, within this group of people. And of course, you're not going to use dynamite to blow up a building, but to construct, okay? Hopefully that's the way we're going to use it. Then tweet and tell us how you can apply this app in your class. So that's the main part where you have to tell us how to apply this app in your class. And again, Professor Rizal is going to share with you the Google form link to share the tweet with us. So please, Professor Rizal, share that link with the students or the participants in the chat.
Actually, I'm not a professor, Mr. Juan. I'm only a lecturer.
You're a lecturer. Okay, I'm a lecturer too, but people call me professor. And sometimes I just have to call me Juan.
Yeah, this is the link. Yeah, I share.
Awesome. Terima kasih. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, the last part. Our last session has to do with TikTok, also called Douyin in China. And again, I say Selamat datang to our last session, our last part of the session 1. And again, our motto is, an educator sees a teaching opportunity in everything. So keep that in mind all the time. So what is TikTok? TikTok is one of the most recent apps and one of the most popular apps that have come out. Started in China and then made its way Professor Rizal, if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm hearing some noise. If somebody can mute their microphone, that would...
Oh, yeah. Let me...
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes, so established in 2016, you can use either the web on your computer or use it as an app. You can use private or public, you can set it up. It is a free account. Here you can record from 15 seconds to 3-minute videos. And again, it's a very popular social network, especially for
PowerPoint
teenagers.
now? Mr. Juan, did you share the PowerPoint? We didn't see anything here.
Oh, wow. Hold on a second.
Just share the PowerPoint.
Thank you so much. I was looking at my own PowerPoint presentation, which is not. Can you see my presentation now?
Yes. That's
My
it
bad.
now.
My bad. I'm sorry. It's probably what they call diminishing return when you're getting to the end of of the presentation, and then you start declining. Anyways, so here's the thing. TikTok, one of the most popular applications that have come out in the market. This one established in 2016 in China. You can use it for free. Again, they also monitor your posts, and depending on the content, your post can be removed or can be banned for life or suspended for a certain period of time, just the same way they do it with Twitter. For this, you can use 15-second to 3-minute videos. So here's, you have more time. Again, if you have more time, chances are that you will have more content involved. And that's why when we started with Animoto, with a 30-second video, well, was that probably not too much, but now it is more demanding in terms of content. It is a very popular social network, and people have used it to create comedy, music, and people have also used it for educational videos. So in our case, since we are educators, instructors, teachers, lecturers, we want to use it for educational purposes. People have used it for fun mostly, like lip sync singing, where you are not actually singing, but the music in the background is playing and the original singer is singing, and you just kind of mimicking the song. This app can be used to remove some stress from any particular part of the semester they're going through, whether it is close to the final exams or close to the midterms, or when there is a situation that has stressed people out a lot. So it's a good idea to kind of break the ice and bring in some humor, where teachers can do this, students can do this, and they can share this together. TikTok uses artificial intelligence, so it keeps track of your likes and will bring you content related to what you like on previous videos. You can also have, it also has features where you can react to a post. You can do duet video, where you have a video in the background and you can also record yourself. You can save your preferences, such as videos. You can also go live on TikTok, and you can also use the draft feature, which means you can go ahead and start creating a video, and if you're not done, you got interrupted for some reason, you can keep that draft and come back and work on it later. So once again, what are the pedagogical takes on this? Well, you can improve digital skills, one more time. You can enhance listening and speaking skills, as well as the reading and writing. It can stimulate critical thinking skills, and it can also promote decision-making skills. Okay, so that said, again, you would want to sign up and create your free account by going to tiktok.com. You can log in either using a QR code. You can also use your email account if you're going to use a particular email, but you can also log in or create your account or link it to Facebook, to Google, to your Twitter account, to your Apple account. On the right, you can see that Juan Soto picture. Oh, wait a minute. Who's that? Does anybody know this guy? He's got my same name, Juan Soto.
You see Juan Soto?
Yes, that's Juan Soto.
Oh, I see.
What sports do you think he played, Mr. Rizal?
Baseball, is that right?
It is correct. Yes, yes, that is baseball. And just to give you a hint, he's my nephew. And right now he's a very, very good hitter and popular in that and the baseball in the major leagues. All right, so but that said, let's just move on and let's have a look at our, excuse me, one account where you can see how people have used this TikTok application to teach, right? So they have come up with something like using videos where they have animals like whales and other animals that you name it, to teach students about science. This other video on the right is a math teacher, and she promotes herself, Megan Lay, as a fun teacher. So students are not afraid of math, which is kind of a universal truth. A lot of people actually do not want to study math. They're afraid of it. But this teacher with a TikTok account kind of make it more approachable to the students. Again, she's trying to meet the students in that middle ground to get them engaged. And once they are engaged, they are more likely to participate and to do what needs to be done. So again, using dynamite to build roads, to construct as opposed to destruct. When you use TikTok, you can like, comment, and share. And by doing that, you would see that on the right-hand side of the picture, you can see they have this heart for like, you have this speech bubble for comments, and to share, they have that arrow that you pretty much know. Once you click on the share, you can embed this into a website, our blog. You can share it through WhatsApp, Twitter, Pinterest, Reddit, Facebook, or simply copy the link and share it via email or share it through a chat on any platform. Again, when we look at TikTok, we're looking at a greater opportunity to share content that was probably kind of limited when we used TikTok. Once again, terima kasih, comments and questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? But before students, I think there is some questions relating to TikTok, yeah, from Nurul Fadilah. Yeah, are you also TikTok content creator, Mr. Juan?
I am not. I am not. I do have an account. I have followed certain people, but I am not a content creator. No, not myself. Are you?
No, I don't have the account. What about Nurul Fadilah? Do you have the? Are you a content creator in TikTok? Nurul Fadilah?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, Dr. Juan. Actually, I usually ask my students to learn from TikTok, the learning content about studying English. But unfortunately, I'm not also a content creator about that kind of things. Yeah, unfortunately, maybe someday we can learn and discuss about this and share how to make a good content in TikTok. So our students not only learn from other people, but from their lectures also. Yeah, thank you.
I'm so happy you mentioned that, and I appreciate your comment. And again, I'm not a doctor yet. I'm on my way, but you can call me Juan. That's okay. But you see how you're encouraging your students to use the application to learn. So this is what our educators do, and this is my motto, and this is what I've been saying from slide 1. We see an opportunity of teaching in everything. So if we have this new app, we can use it to engage our students in their learning in a way that they will benefit from it. Even if we are not creators of that content, we are promoting learning through the use of this app. And I believe that's a great thing you're doing when you do that with your students. I really appreciate your input.
Definitely agree, Mr. Juan. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Juan, there's another question from Azahra. Oh, sorry, not from Azahra first. There are many questions here. Salsa, yeah. Does TikTok have a copyright like YouTube? Yeah. How to avoid missing TikTok videos? Because it said my friend has a problem where the TikTok videos disappear by itself. Yeah. Come on.
Based on the literature and based on what I have learned about TikTok, you know, they started back in 2016, and still they are kind of making some mistakes. And I have noticed that among the comments, they have accidentally deleted certain accounts, but then they have restored the content back to the user and the TikToker. So I would assume that there might be some isolated cases where they have made that mistake. But if the user gets in contact with them, chances are if there's no foul doing, if there was nothing wrong, they will just restore their account and the content as well.
Mr. Juan from Bululut, yeah. Would you please share the teaching activities to promote critical thinking in Twitter or TikTok making? Yeah, and love to hear some examples. Yeah, Mr. Juan.
You said, I'm sorry, go back to the question. It says a critical thinking.
Would you please share the teaching activities to promote critical thinking in Twitter or TikTok making? Yeah, actually, what you share, TikTok in general. Yeah, what it means. So you can give examples, yeah, of teaching activities to promote critical thinking in TikTok and or Twitter.
Absolutely. One sample that comes to mind is when you have students work in groups and you assign them a particular topic. For instance, this month we're celebrating Latin heritage in the United States. So they dedicate the whole month to celebrate the Hispanic heritage. In doing that, you can assign this topic to students with some specific questions where they have to come up with certain representative of Latin American countries that best represent what Latinos are in this country or in the world. And by having them work in groups, they do have to come up with some decision making, and they have to think critically whom they will choose, why they would choose so and so and not so and so. So by having that example, I think you are promoting that critical thinking skill as in the terms of that when they make a decision, they have to justify it. It's not only, oh, okay, let me just pick this and this, but I have to investigate, I have to do my research, I have to go ahead and learn why I am making that decision, why I am critically choosing this particular representation and not the other. Does that answer your question?
Bu Lulut, does it answer the questions? Bu Lulut?
Sure. Thank you, Juan
Okay.
Soto, for sharing that lovely ideas.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. Next question, Mr. Juan from Azahra. Can you recommend any an account for us to for learning through TikToks, especially English learning to TikToks? Probably you have recommended account on this.
Well, TikTok is one account, right? So, and I don't see how that would differ from one for teachers, one for business, one for others. It all depends on the use you give to that account. If you use your account to promote teaching, then it'll be a teaching account, and that could be used for learning. Of course, a lot of videos that you can find on TikTok, as I mentioned before, has to do with comedy and music and so on and so forth. And as I said also, you can use some of these videos to break the ice or to get out of a stressful situation, to remove some stress from students' shoulders as those times when they're approaching to the midterms or the final exams, just to bring in some fun. However, even though we see that fun part on TikTok, we can use it for teaching purposes as well, as we could see the example of teacher Megan and others that use it for teaching science. We can use it for those purposes, and it's on us to give the application that particular orientation. Does that make sense? I think I'm losing my voice here. Sorry.
Okay. Does it answer the question, Azahra? Azahra, does it answer the questions? Or we go to the next question, from Minka Faiza, I want to ask about the use of features in social media you have mentioned. Can it be used as the platform to know student understanding, maybe like quiz or assignment, not only as teaching platform media? I don't understand this question, sir. Minka Faiza, what do you mean by this question, sir? Minka,
yes, sir.
yeah,
I mean, like,
I don't understand.
as we know that we can share the knowledge and we can share the material in social media, but can social media be used to give students assignment like quiz or something like that, sir?
Oh, I see. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Juan, can we use the social media for teachers' assignment? That's the question.
Yeah. I think the clarification came right on point. Thank you so much. Minka is her name?
Minka Faiza. Yeah.
Okay, Faiza. Miss Faiza, thank you for clarifying. Yes, absolutely. As you remember, we can use Twitter to do polls, and polls are a perfect way to quiz students, whether it is a true-false question, whether it is a ranking, multiple choice quiz you can give them, and you can get instant results. Okay, so that way you can get those results right back at you. Again, you would use a hashtag that identifies the particular exercise you're dealing with, and everybody would use that hashtag, and you would easily collect the results by looking at their responses to the poll. The poll is a perfect way to quiz students, and that can be used as one of the activities. Again, I wouldn't recommend to use the platforms, I mean, the apps we just mentioned today as a platform, as a substitute of a platform, such as a learning management system like Blackboard or Blackboard or Moodle, but use it as a complement, as to create activities that would enhance students' skills. I know there is a professor, a lecturer in Maryland, and she once flew into the Dominican Republic looking for a professor who could actually have her class and my class, or that professor's class, interact with each other. And we used Facebook as the platform, and that group was created as a private group, so nobody else had access to this except for students from the Dominican Republic and the United States, in this particular case, from Maryland State. And they started texting each other, so they were kind of practicing their reading and writing skills, and then they started using the webcam and they started interacting orally. They started interacting orally, so they started practicing their listening and speaking skills. I think Fadila is trying to say something. Okay, thank you. So as I mentioned, then we used this this particular platform, such as Facebook, to create that additional class, or it ran along with our own course for the semester, and students were able to practice the skills they wanted to. In this case, they wanted to practice Spanish and English, so they actually set up the time that if they were going to be online for 1 hour through Facebook, they could practice 30 minutes in Spanish and then 30 minutes in English. Again, this was monitored by the teacher in the United States and by me in the Dominican Republic, so we use that platform. But again, we can use the applications we have mentioned today as ways to enhance what you already have on your platform, your learning management system, whether it is Blackboard, Classroom, Google Classroom, or Moodle or Blackboard. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Faiza.
Okay, there's no other questions, Sir Juan. And oh yeah, I just wonder, yeah, to what is it? Students, yeah, in university, especially your students, yeah, make use of social media, yeah, for teaching learning process. Mr. Juan, does it happen in the classroom, especially in your classroom?
If they have used social media in my classroom?
No, I'm not. What I want to know is, do students, yeah, use, and also lecturers use the social media for teaching learning process, for example, for the assignment, and then for teaching materials, yeah, or quiz? Okay, Mr. Juan.
Yes, thank you for the question. Thank you for clarifying it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can continue.
That's all right. So yes, I have seen other colleagues at Ostos Community College where they have used social media as one way to have students create content that is available not only for the class, but for other people out there to see. The particular case that comes to mind is a literature professor who uses blogs and as a media. He has students publish their work on their blog. They are part of the assignments, but they're also available for anyone to see. So they make this public to everyone, and they actually can see the content that was created by the students in the classroom. Yes.
Yeah, I think blogs is very popular, yeah, for let's say for students, yeah, especially
Absolutely.
they can have you know, their writing, yeah, in groups, yeah, and then they post it in their blogs, yeah. But what comes to my mind is, what about Twitter? What about TikTok? What about Animoto? Yeah, for example, for assignments, and then squeezed, and then for teaching materials. Yeah, that's what I wonder.
Again, I have used Animoto in my class where students do develop the video, and they have worked in groups, and then they do the mini presentations when they have to stand up in the classroom, talk about the video they produced, how they produced it, why they produced it, why they picked the pictures they chose, and then present the video. And after that, they stand up and stay there for a question and answer session. So by doing this, by using Animoto, I'm evaluating their presentation skills. I'm evaluating their listening and speaking skills, and while they're using the resource to do their presentation.
And
again, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. You can continue.
Yes, and then in terms of Twitter, and that when we first started, we started with only 140 characters. So this was one way to kind of get them brainstorm on one particular topic. And because they are writing and reading each other's posts on Twitter, they are also given points for doing this activity, which could be, as I just mentioned, a brainstorm activity where you want to encourage students to come up with ideas and then refine them later to see if they can refocus or concentrate their best ideas to further develop writing.
Do you give feedbacks to, let's say, to students, yeah, work, and how can, you know, a lecturer give feedbacks, yeah, on you know, let's say Twitter, TikTok, and Animoto? As of one.
How can the lecturers get feedback?
Yes.
Well, as you can see on the assignment that I have created, and which is coming up on the next slide, by using Google Form, I collect what students have produced, whether it is a TikTok video or an Animoto video or a tweet, because from there, from my account, then I'll be able to see what they produced. But on this particular form, I am collecting the students' production, and then I can go ahead and evaluate what they produced, not only from the technical aspect where they are developing their digital skills, but also from the linguistic aspects, because now I can see what they wrote. I can also hear what they said, and I can evaluate that as an instructor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Rizal. And that brings us up to the next slide. As you might have guessed, this is the assignment. And then now we ask you to create a TikTok account if you don't have one yet, by going to tiktok.com, use the music and the pictures from TikTok, use the hashtag UANELT, and then post a comment saying how you can apply this app in your class. And finally, share that information through our Google form, and I would invite Mr. Rizal to share that link in the chat, so participants can.
Yeah, I think
It's already posted.
Is it the right?
Awesome.
Okay. Oh, I think this is not Animoto. Yeah, actually, this is for
TikTok. That's the third link I sent you. I sent you 3 links, right?
Yes.
One for each app. If you were just wondering, coming up next week is session 2, and we're going to be dealing with Kahoot, which is kind of a gaming quiz tool, and Google Forms, which you're going to start using today, and Google Docs as a writing tool. That is going to be Friday, October 1st, my time, 9 p.m. And see you soon.
Okay.
Mr. Rizal, do you have any other concern? I think we didn't give anybody a break, the 10-minute break.
Right. Yeah.
And I was just wondering if they're tired or they still want to continue asking questions. I don't mind. I mean, I'm here. I see that most of you are still here. 250 participants. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 250. And also on Twitter, we have around 40 students on YouTube. I mean, on YouTube, we share this on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Awesome. We appreciate that. We appreciate that coverage. And I appreciate your presence. All of your presences here make me happy and make me, I feel honored and humbled to be among all of you. And I again thank Anis Sundasiya for being the link, the contact that put us together. We became great friends while we were at Ohio University, getting our master's degree. And after we graduated, we continued in contact. And you can see the result is that she has put me in contact with Dr. Taruya and Mr. Rizal. And through them, through you guys, I am here humbly sharing what I know, what I like. And again, I'm not an expert. I'm just a learner like you all are.
Okay, thank you. And we still have, it's about 8 minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes. Yeah, before we end this webinar. I think if some of the students still have any questions, yeah, you may raise questions. And I'd like to inform to the class. This is actually, I'm the lecturer of the subject of language teaching medium, Mr. Juan. And I want to announce that my students that next Monday, usually we have a class, yeah. And we will, postpone the class for next Monday, and you have the assignment. We have the same assignment. I mean, 3, you have to submit the assignment to Mr. Juan and also the assignment to me. You see, all of my students, yeah. So in the Moodle website, yeah, in e-learning, Wali Songo, you have to submit in online discussion, I think. So we can discuss, yeah, your, your Twitter and then your
Animoto movie.
And Animoto movies, yeah. Okay.
And the TikTok video as well.
Okay. Let me.
That's great. So I think we are on the same mindset.
Yeah.
thinking that our students need to reinforce what they learn. And the best way to do that is by completing an assignment. Well, I gave you the tools. You have a hammer, the nails, the wood. Now go ahead and build the house,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's right. So don't forget, to submit your assignment to Mr. Juan and also to me, in the Moodle website, in the learning website. Okay, any more questions, class?
I'm here.
Okay, come
Or
on.
any final thoughts too. They don't have to be questions all the time.
About TikTok.
Yes, go ahead.
So in wait. So in 15, 18 years ago, there was dancing plague. So today in TikTok, many people call dancing syndrome. So how to quit, how to omit the mindset that as a student, because we need a positive thinker and a mindset. So how to omit the negative mindset? Okay, thank you.
I appreciate your comment and slash question. Yeah, originally TikTok was that. It was a dancing by musical .ly is what they actually had, and this dancing studio was what they had this app for. It has become popular because so many teenagers have used it and so many celebrities have used it and continue to use it. Again, we use hashtags, and through those hashtags, we can go ahead and add our grain of salt. We can add our 2 cents, our positive part, by creating that educational aspect that other teachers, other educators have also contributed with. So we can do that by using our hashtags and creating our own videos that deal with educational activities, that deal with positive thoughts, as opposed to what might be understood as negative. But again, you have the tool in your hands, and that tool can be used positively or negatively. It is all up to you. And once again, as I stated, my motto is an educator sees an opportunity in everything. So if you can see that as an opportunity to do well, to do good, take advantage of it and go for it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Juan, and also to all of students and participants. Yeah, actually, Mr. Juan, we have.
Sorry.
Yeah, come on.
Sorry for interrupting. Could you remind the participants to complete the attendance list before ending this session?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the link has been shared in chat room.
Yeah. Okay, please fill the form, for your attendance, and you will get a certificate, here. And Mr. Juan, actually, the participants, are not from Win Wali Songo Semarang, but from other universities as well. Yeah, there is other universities. So
what other universities are those, if I may know?
Yeah.
What other universities are those?
Win Malang, if I'm not mistaken, Malang, and then Lok Sumawe, and I don't really.
That's okay. That's okay.
Some from.
I am from Win Makassar.
Oh yeah, Win Makassar, also from Win Makassar. So from other part of Makassar, Lok Sumawe, that is in Papua, the western part of Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is the last. I mean the. We'd like to say thank you, to Mr. Juan, and we'll see you again next week. Yeah.
Well,
Di
terima kasih.
makasih ya. Saya ucapkan terima kasih for your
Sama-sama.
sama-sama. Okay, I think
Kurang 1 menit.
yeah.
Kurang 1 menit.
1 menit. Okay.
So bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, and I'll see you next week.
Okay. But here, Mr. Juan, will
Yes, I'm still here.
1 minute, yeah, before 10 p.m. What time is it in EST?
It is 11 p.m. In 30 seconds, it'll be 11 p.m.
Oh, 11 p.m. So
That would be my
time
bedtime.
to go to bed. Time to go to bed. Okay, now it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, Putaruya, we can close our webinar. And for all participants, don't forget to fill the attendance list. Yeah, fill out the attendance list, and you get the certificate in your email. And also, okay, I think that's all, Mr. Juan, and see you again next week. Goodbye.
Yeah, okay. Juan, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Juan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Terima kasih.
My pleasure.
Terus suwun.
Sama-sama.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih kembali.